We
So
didn't run on this ever. We voted on the 2015 plan through the House and the Senate, which was a repeal. And all of a sudden, all this new stuff at the federal level comes up and is clouding the picture. It's easy to square because the federal government right now has $100 trillion in unfunded liabilities in these mandatory entitlement programs. $100 trillion. We promised to pay. We don't have the money. Medicare's insolvent. Social Security's insolvent. And so do we want to create another entitlement when we're already $100 trillion light and the kids have $20 trillion in debt? And so it's easy to square, right? And so, but I hear your concern, and it's legitimate also. Obama created basically another entitlement program, and we do want to help out of it. We want to make sure the rug's not pulled out from anyone, et cetera. But we're confusing having a free market insurance market with having a safety net system that works for all Americans.
But it's
those
not
are
just
two separate issues.
I hear you. It's not just pulling out the rug from someone saying that you don't want to do that. I mean, there's a real risk here that 18 million people who have health insurance now under the Affordable Care Act won't. And not least of which is a concern about a gap in care between repealing and replacing. So do you take that in consideration? Are you prioritizing making sure people don't lose their health care for a period of time?
Yeah, absolutely. But the question you just asked shows the bias of the media and the folks who haven't thought about this thoroughly yet.
Tell me how.
Because the current system is collapsing under its own logic. So when you have a bad promise and the other side designed the system and the car's in the ditch and socialism didn't work, then the onus of the argument is all of a sudden on our free market guys, right? If you look at the cost of health care, if we wouldn't have had 20% cost increases over the years and premium increases, et cetera, and you had a free market system, you got heart procedures here that are $150,000 that in India are $15,000.
But you agree
right?
that the federal government now still has a role in providing some baseline level of care. You concede that, even though it's uncomfortable. You agree that there's a role now.
Yes. Milton Friedman, smart guy, Nobel Prize winner in economics. Right? I taught economics for 20 years. You got to aim for the target. So this target, I want a clean insurance market. On the other hand, we can have a generous safety net system for folks across the board that handles everything, right? Food stamps, housing, health care, everything, right? But those things need to be lumped under the target so that families are taken care of. To combine everything constantly with the federal government, when the federal government, everything it touches right now is insolvent, is the wrong way to go.
Let me ask you one more question with the seconds we have remaining. A handful of senators, Republican senators, have said they don't want to support any plan that calls for rolling back the Medicaid expansion. That means too many of their vulnerable citizens won't be protected the way they think they need to be. Does this thing run the risk of falling flat in the Senate?
It shouldn't. And think about this next sentence carefully because it's true. There's just as much money in the states as there is in Washington, D.C. So states are more than free to do Medicaid expansion, and that's what we want, right? We want to put this government closer to the people who can take care of individuals much better than we have in the past. The current system is down in flames. It's in the ditch. We can't do that again. So I don't want to be part of owning the next system that collapses, and that's what this vote will represent. So those senators their concerns are well-founded. They design the system at your state level. There's just as much money if you add up all 50 states as there is in a country. But everyone, efficiency-wise, just wants to say, federal government solve every problem I have.
Republican Congressman Dave Brat of Virginia, thank you so much.
Hey, you bet. Thank you.